Hello, this is section 7.6, which is about quadratic inequalities. So here again we will start solving an equation. So in this case we'll be solving an equation something like this. So far we have dealt with equals to 0, right? But since this is inequality, so we will say, let's say less than equals to 0. All right, so we'll be solving this quadratic inequality. So since we have this inequality sign, that's why we said this inequality. And there is a method, test point method. All right, so on this one, the idea is, so to follow this method, the idea is, first thing what we're going to do is we're just going to change this to equal sign and say equals to 0 just for the moment, and solve this one. So we know this is a quadratic equation with equal sign, so we can follow AC method, right? 10 times 1, that's 10. 5 times 2, that's 10. So it looks like I can use 5 and 2, right? Because we have 3x in the middle. So then we can say x square, the first and the last term is going to be the same. So now instead of saying 3x using 5 and 2, I can say positive 5x and negative 2x, right? So positive 5x and negative 2x is positive 3x, right? So now again, after this, we can split this into two parts. From these two, I can now factor out x, then we get x plus 5 inside the parenthesis. Again, from these two, I can factor out, since we have negative here, so we need to consider the negative as well, right? So I can factor out negative 2, and then we get x plus 5 is equals to 0. And again, from these two, I can factor out x plus 5, right? And the remaining terms are x minus 2 is equals to 0. So from this two, now I can say either x plus 5 is equals to 0 or x minus 2 is equals to 0. So from this, I get x is equals to negative 5 and x is equals to positive 2, right? So that means we got the value of x if it is equal. So if it is equal, then we get these two values, right? We get equals to negative 5 and equals to positive 2. But our original equation has inequality, right? So we have to deal with this inequality. So the way to deal with this inequality is basically, now here we're going to make our number line. And then since we got x is equals to negative 5, x is equals to positive 2. So let's say negative 5 is somewhere down here, 2 is somewhere down here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to find the reason where our answers are going to be true. Since we have inequality, so our answer is not just going to be equals to a number, it's going to be a reason. Either it's going to be this reason, or this reason, this middle reason, or this reason. All right, so what I'm trying to say is you can pick any point here on this reason, any point. So basically any point that is less than negative 5, and check that reason if you are going to get this reason true or not. So basically, let's say if I pick x is equals to, let's say, negative 6. Now to check this point, we are going to substitute this value to this original equation, not this equals to equation, this original equation. So if I substitute this to this original equation, what we're going to get is, since we have x squared, right? So we said x is negative 6, so negative 6 squared plus 3 times negative 6 minus 10 is less than 0, right? And here negative 6 square is positive 36. I didn't record that part. So yeah, this is positive 36, right? And negative 6 square is positive 36. Negative 18, negative 10 is less than 0, right? So now from this 36, so negative 18, negative 10 is negative 28 is less than 0. So 36 minus 28 is 8, right? Is less than 0, which is false, right? So it is not less than 0, which is false. So that means here, if you pick any point on this reason, it's always false. So this reason is not true. All right. Similarly, pick any point on this reason. So x is equals to, let's say, just to make it easy, let's just say 0. All right. So if x is 0, again, plug this value to the original equation, this equation again. So again, from there, you'll get 0 square plus 3 times 0 minus 10 is less than 0. So, okay, this 0 square is 0. 3 times 0 is 0. So all we have is just negative 10 is less than 0, which is it's true. So that means this reason we get true. All right. Similarly, now check this reason. Let's just say x is 3 and follow the same process and see if you get true or false here. So I'll just give you the answer here. This reason has to be false. All right. So that means we got this reason true, right? So now since our original equation is inequality, so whenever you deal with inequality, your final answer has to be an interval notation. All right. So since this inequality is strictly less than, so that means what we can say from here is, since this is strictly less than, so whenever you have strictly less than, then we cannot include these endpoints or these points. We cannot include that point. So without including these 2 points, our answer is going to be in this reason. All right, so that means now to write this in interval notation, we're saying our answer is from negative 5 to 2, right? But since we are not including this point, so it's going to be a parenthesis, and also we're not including this point, so parenthesis. All right. If there was, let's say here, if there was, let's say, less than equals to, then at that time we should have included these 2 points. So in that case, our answer should have been a bracket on both sides with negative 5 to 2. All right. You might get, let's say, you might get another conditions, let's say a random point, again, let's say negative 5 to 2. And since we got this reason true, but what if we get this reason true? All right. And we are not including these 2 points. So again, to write this in interval notation, we're just going to say from negative infinity, right? From negative infinity to negative 5, or 2 to infinity. All right. So it's just that you have to, the only thing you need to know is this process, and your writing final answer in interval notation is basically whatever we have done previous. All right. So the only new thing here is this part here. All right. So that's it for this section. Thank you.